Hey, Jesse. Hey, Chris. Hey, Ben.
Hello.
Hey, Eric.
How's it going?
Going well.
Good.
And FYI, I did set these meetings to automatically record whether I'm here or not. So
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Chris. Great.
in perpetuity.
All right. Well, we'll take a few more minutes and see who else is able to attend. I think we're hitting some sort of Labor Day adjacent slowdown in terms of attendance.
Yeah, plus I imagine some folks from the VMware side, I think, are coming straight from the meeting, so.
Oh yeah, we have the all hands meeting for the company, so people are maybe taking a little break.
Yep.
How big is the all hands VMware meeting? Or is that just all hands Cloud Foundry? Or
Oh no, this is like company all hands, so
everybody.
everyone.
Just tons of hands, tens of thousands of hands.
Yeah, disembodied. Oh wait. Hey Jeremy, how's it going?
I stepped away. So it's good. Good enough. How are y'all?
Yeah, hanging in there. Dealing with the smoke.
Yeah. Super fun.
Oh yeah.
It is right on the borderline of what I'm comfortable with here in the garage, but I need to get
Oh
out of the house.
jeez. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I mean, you know, I'm basically outside right now, but I need to get out of the house sometimes because there's a 15-month-old running around. It's hard to do things.
Oh jeez. Okay. Hey Yui.
Hello. Sorry, I was busy advocating for custom emojis in the Spring One Slack.
Valiant fight.
I'm like, we could upload the Cloud Foundry logo or the Kubernetes logo, or like, I really like the clapping logo, but like, it's just the default set right now because the conference is about to start like tomorrow. Josh messaged me to say that he's not able to join, but he provided the update.
Oh yeah, I saw those come in. Let me actually do a quick refresh and see what else has come in. Oh, Jesse, great. I see you provided some updates. Cool. Well, we are a few minutes in. Maybe this is who we're going to get today. Why don't we go ahead and get started? Before we discuss any project-specific updates, are there any announcements or other discussion topics we wanted to bring up?
I was wondering, Eric, if you need any help with any of the project lead transition stuff, if I can help you with any of that.
Oh, right. I know we've wanted to do a couple of those. I was actually hoping to get to that later today. It looks like I have a little bit of free time. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. All right. Anything else?
Don't think so. I wanted to throw out there in case folks didn't see. We do have the proposal out about main and master, and or other alternatives. And I think Chris, like, you did an inventory and it looked like a couple of teams have tackled it, and you weren't planning on doing a big push for it until GitHub had done a bit more work to make it easier.
I looked into it, and it looked like the networking team and build packs were basically the only product teams that had done a comprehensive kind of push to change those on existing repositories. But then I looked at, I went and I switched the default setting for new repositories in both Cloud Foundry and Cloud Foundry Incubator from master to main. There's just a switch to do that. But they've got a paragraph there and then a link to like frequently answered questions. working on making that process a lot easier for existing repositories. I forget the exact issues that they're addressing, but basically right now, if were you to just change the default branch on existing repositories, there would be unforeseen consequences potentially, and they're working on addressing that before the end of the year, and making that a lot easier. So I would say, unless there's, people feel this is more urgent than that, then we just make it easier on ourselves and wait till they've got that functionality built in, and then it should be a lot easier to go through and just go through the entire org and change all of the default branches, as opposed to having individual teams make that push now.
Okay.
I think
Thanks,
that sounds
Chris.
reasonable to me. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Jesse's
All
got
right.
a lot of repos.
Yes, he does.
I can say that I actually went in and updated most of our highest used repos. Most of the repos we haven't done anything with. I think we have, what was it, something like 90 repositories we have at some point either created, managed, or controlled as a team. But the highest usage ones should be all updated.
Cool.
Besides the CI repo, that one still hasn't been done.
And I will, in fact, say, inclusive language being one side of it, I also just subjectively prefer main as a branch name, having to do acceptance and stuff. So, second reason to move forward with this.
Okay.
Great. I had no other business.
Oh, I just wanted to thank everyone for filling out those various spreadsheets I asked people to fill out with committers' names and emails, and also the repositories that may or may not be moved to the attic and stuff. So thanks for everyone for doing that. Just about complete for all of the. I think there's a couple in each that haven't done it, but it's pretty much all done. So that's great. Thanks everyone.
Is there a place for me and Eric to put our names down for swag?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm not quite sure. Paige is going to be spearheading that, but basically there'll be a form, and whoever wants to can fill it out. But I'll make sure to pass that on to the project leads list, and as well as all of the emails we've collected. Oh, and speaking of that, I will be pinging the project leads list probably today, just to ask folks about CF Summit who might want to be doing an office hours. We didn't do that at this last summit, but we figured there's no reason not to add those back in. Not necessarily for every project, but for projects that want to do it, or projects that are obviously gonna have some interest. And then also hands-on labs we'll be doing again. And if people want to, basically that's going to be sort of an informal process like last time. There's not a CFP or anything, but just reach out to me if there's a lab you feel like you want to do. We'll probably be doing CF for Kates and kubecf again. Stratos is going to do one, and then we're open to more if folks want to do other kind of hands-on labs that take 30 to 60 minutes or something.
Very cool. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. That sounds great. All right. Anything else? Should we move on to any project updates we might want to discuss? Cool. Let me do one final refresh, see if anything else is here. Oh, I'll go ahead and share the notes document. Forgot to do that earlier. Great. Looks like we've got a nice update from Josh on CLI activity, and we'll be getting a new minor version of V7 soon. So looks good. Assume if we have any questions about that, we can just reach out on Slack. And Jeremy, no update for UAA?
That's correct.
All right, sounds good. So in that case, Jesse, why don't we move on to you with any logging and metric stuff?
Yeah, we have some pretty cool stuff that we've been working on over the past couple of weeks. We have a new release of Sept logging out, rips out the certificates that we were doing double MTLS with. So I think that will be a much desired improvement for a lot of folks having to deploy certificates. Also, some appearance improvements. We've gotten the appearance of app logs a little bit more in line with how they appeared in the Bosch world. We are also filtering out the logs from the Envoy sidecar in order to kind of improve the experience of tailing a lot that has deployed. The Envoy sidecar is pretty noisy. This does take out the access logs that we were accidentally getting from that particular work. The networking team, I believe, is fairly close to a complete line of work to explicitly put access logs in an app's log stream. And finally, this also improves the performance of getting things into log cache pretty noticeably. We're still working on a little bit of performance evaluation and tuning as we get closer to 1.0, but that's where things sit for now. Also, working on an improved version of our CLI for log cache, which will take a piece of it that's always been theoretically a way to measure app throughput that hasn't scaled very well, and getting it to a point where you could use it to see app throughput even on pretty busy systems. We're currently testing it on one particular large foundation, and we're going to be reaching out once we're confident in this. We're going to get it out the door, and we're going to be releasing this and be like, hey, as we move forward into K8s, we really want to know what app throughput looks like for a busy system. What kind of peaks do you see? What sort of overall throughput do you see? Really trying to base some of our performance decisions on real live systems. That is it for us.
Yeah,
Any
that's really
questions?
interesting. I'm wondering about that plug. It's a plugin then?
CLI
Log
plugin.
Meta?
Yep.
Would that apply at all to existing CF foundations that may be updated enough to
This
use
should
log cache?
work. Oh, sorry. I think I've stepped on you like 3 times.
Sorry, I was thinking.
No worries at all. Yeah, so this should work on CF for K8s. This should work on CF foundations going back quite a ways, actually, in terms of versions. So this should be useful across a pretty wide swath of foundations.
I
Cool.
was
So
thinking,
that's just relying on the log cache API being present in that
Yes.
environment. Okay.
I remember talking with Yahoo Japan, and this sounds like the sort of thing that they would make folks figure out before like allowing them to come onto one of their environments. They would have folks like profile how much log throughput they had. And so they might be folks you might want to reach out to for feedback on this.
Yeah, I've been talking a little bit with Yahoo Japan about some of the recent work with logging, but that is a very interesting little factoid I wasn't aware of. Thank you. I will definitely ask them about this.
I bet the SAP folks would be pretty interested in this in their environments too.
Yep. I put out a little feeler thread in our Slack channel on the CF Slack, kind of poking, asking IBM if they'd be interested in this particular experiment, asking SAP. SAP's gotten back to us, IBM not yet, but...
Great. Cool. Well, look forward to seeing more activity around that on CFDev. Thanks, Jesse. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yes. Would you be willing to do a blog post?
I think so. It would probably be a pretty succinct one, but would be absolutely willing to do that.
Are you thinking a blog post soliciting input or a blog post summarizing information that we get from these environments?
So talking up the feature and soliciting input into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd absolutely be willing to do that. We're still, making sure it's sound, fixing some last bugs, but that should be coming out fairly soon.
Cool. I think Chris and Caitlin are able to help with that when y'all are ready.
Absolutely.
And with the editorial eye or copy editing and things like that.
Cool. Well, all right. Any other topics we want to discuss while we're all here?
The nominations for co-chairs closes today, I think, unless it gets extended, but theoretically it closes today.
I think so. And also Paige mentioned yesterday there was like 24 nominations, so I think it'll probably close.
Okay,
We've gotten a pretty good turnout. So,
sounds great.
and I forget the timeline on the CFP, but yeah,
It's a couple more weeks, I think.
yeah,
for
there's
that.
there's some time on that for sure.
I think that was it from me.
All right. Well,
I
Thanks.
actually have one last thing.
oh yeah, sure, Jesse.
Especially with Shannon on the call. I believe that the networking
Oh,
team
hey, Shannon.
has recently started doing office hours. We've been talking about doing this as well on our team, and I'd love to know how that's been going, any learnings from the experience, just what you thought.
Hi, Jesse. Sure. We've done office hours 3 or 4 times since initially announcing it. And in that time, we've had 2 guests join. One from SIP, and then the other, Chris, here on the call, joined. None of us were on the call. I was on break, and my team didn't show up. So I wouldn't say it's gone well. We haven't had any attendance other than those 2 people that I mentioned. And we've decided that we would give it a couple more tries with a concerted effort to advertise and see if anything changes.
I've seen some of those announcements on CF Dev. I think your Slack channel on the open source side of things. Are there any other avenues that you've been thinking about for this last hurrah?
No, I don't know of anything else.
Would those be a fit for the CF community calendar? Are they already there?
I think it's on there already.
It's already there,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so, all right, we've been considering this ourselves. I imagine, they could be a very cyclic thing, like,
Of course.
but
Everyone has the
it's-
same issue.
yeah, it's either feast or famine, but that's interesting to hear that feedback, especially as we consider the cadence of the office hours that we would like to roll out, because I think y'all were originally doing them every other week.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know about. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I think a random other idea I had about this, and I don't know, it may not be the right time to do these sorts of things, and try it again later when we've
Yeah.
made some other community building efforts. But I had the thought, and I think I talked with you, Jesse, about it, of perhaps making IPM an open meeting, a kind of an open invite, and then that's a meeting that you were going to have anyway. And then folks could jump in if they had questions about things. It might be interrupty, so I'm not sure if that's the right format. But it was an idea I had at one point.
We've been discussing that in as we go through the suggestions for, or go through the options for how we could be better OSS citizens. That has come up. We haven't prioritized that change yet, but I think the team and I were open to it.
Yeah, just throwing out ideas there of ways we can have forums where folks can come when they want to, or if they had a question that doesn't overburden the team with another meeting where there isn't an agenda.
Definitely hear that.
Right, makes sense.
We've been, yeah, I think some of this is pending some of our own changes to try to figure out how to do project management in the open, like doing any kind of IPM or any kind of similar meeting in the open. I think probably depends on those, because right now it'd be like, here's our backlog. It has a lot of very company specific things all over it, right? So I think I think we're open to that idea. I think it is pending some changes on our end to be able to be more open.
Cool. All right.
Well, Shannon, while you're here, any quick networking updates to broadcast?
I would say that we're focused currently on meeting the GA scale targets. We shared that we've observed our application availability during an upgrade seems to be about 95%. And we've put that down for the moment while we're trying to get test passing for meeting our scale targets. We've also picked up a story to explore using Contour for ingress as opposed to Istio.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Any questions about networking matters?
Nope.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap for this week. Thanks for attending, everyone. Great to see all of you.
Wow.
Continue seeing you online.
Bye.